More than 4 decades ago, Hong Kong was shaken when a taxi driver murdered 4 women and preserved their body parts in a chemical solution. Lam Kor-wan, now 70 years old, is currently imprisoned at Shek Pik Prison on Lantau Island for a series of brutal murders in the early 1980s. He is considered Hong Kong's first serial killer. His crimes were exposed 35 years ago when he was arrested on August 17, 1982, at the age of 27. Lam was always a loner. While growing up in Malaysia, he was abused by his father to the point of unconsciousness. When he moved to Hong Kong, the beatings stopped, but the teenage Lam struggled to make friends at school. His closest companion was an electronic chess set. As an adult, he worked as a taxi driver and chose night shifts to suit his temperament. He lived in an apartment in Lam Kor-wan with his family, sharing a room with his younger brother. Lam never had a girlfriend. In the late 1970s, he secretly collected a stash of pornographic magazines ordered from the UK because he was too embarrassed to buy them at local newsstands. His family was unaware of this collection, as he kept it hidden in a metal box. He also bought a Polaroid camera to secretly take photos of women's restrooms. However, this pastime did not last long, as the women eventually discovered his behavior. These disturbing obsessions foreshadowed what happened at 4 a.m. on February 3, 1982, when Lam picked up a woman outside a restaurant in Tsim Sha Tsui. Chan Feng Lan, a bar worker, was heavily intoxicated after partying with friends. She asked Lam to stop the car mid-journey to vomit and repeatedly requested him to change routes. Frustrated, Lam pulled over and strangled Chan with an electrical wire. This first murder was unplanned, but it triggered a series of subsequent events. Over the next 7 months, Lam killed 3 more women. He took a highly risky action by bringing photos of the corpses to a photo shop for development. A suspicious photo shop employee questioned Lam about the pictures showing severed body parts. Lam claimed he was a university lab technician and that the images were for medical research. The employee believed his explanation. However, Lam was not so lucky on August 17, 1982. A photo shop worker reported to the police after seeing pictures of a naked woman with cuts and burn marks on her skin. The photos were confiscated. The next day, 2 undercover officers waited outside the photo shop in Tsim Sha Tsui. Lam did not show up until the evening. He told the officers that he was collecting the photos on behalf of a friend, but they followed him home, surprising his parents and younger brother. It did not take long for the police to find incriminating evidence. They asked Lam to open an old metal trunk under his bed. Inside were 2 jars sealed with adhesive tape, containing preserved female body parts submerged in formaldehyde. Because of his habit of preserving trophies, the media dubbed Lam the Jar Killer. Additionally, he earned the nickname Butcher of the Rainy Night because he often took advantage of the darkness and rainy weather to invite passengers into his taxi and commit his crimes. Lam admitted to the murders, revealing gruesome details to the police. In the case of Chan's murder, he brought the body home at 5 a.m., hid it under the sofa, and then lay on his bed, waiting for his family members to wake up and leave for work. Once his family had left, Lam spread plastic sheets on the floor, dismembered the body, and took photos of the process. He disposed of the body parts in Shing Mun, near Sha Tin. A week later, the police discovered the remains but were unable to identify the victim. Lam's next murder was meticulously planned. He purchased specialized tools, including surgical instruments and formaldehyde. Once again, his victim was a bar employee. However, he felt no remorse for killing his first 3 victims. Lam told the police that they were all bar employees and useless to society. The 4th victim, Long Wai-sum, was a different case. The 17-year-old student had hailed a taxi to go home after a party with her classmates. It was 9:30 p.m., much earlier than Lam's previous murders. He handcuffed the girl in his taxi and talked to her for hours about family, religion, and life. At 4 a.m., when she had fallen asleep, Lam strangled her and brought the body home. While setting up the lights to record a video, a bulb fell onto the girl's leg, causing a burn mark on her skin. This mark was later noticed by a Photoshop employee in the pictures, leading to Lam's arrest. During Lam's trial, only men were allowed to serve on the jury. On April 3, 1983, he was convicted of murdering 4 people and sentenced to death by hanging. The sentence was later commuted to life imprisonment,